So since you guys really dug my Ladybug Wolverine AU, I decided to give you guys, for the next two videos, another pair of AU stories that I think you guys would really enjoy. And yeah, I'm going to start things off with a Gravity Falls Superman AU that I kind of thought of, and I figured it'd be a lot of fun. And again, we get a lot of out there AUs with Gravity Falls as it is, the most popular being the Reverse Universe. But yeah, I kind of figured, wouldn't it be cool if there was like a Superman AU, and how would that go? And there's actually a really cool Superman AU story with Gravity Falls in it, with Wendy as Supergirl, and it's kind of like Man of Steel, but with her. So yeah, I found that on Fanfiction. It was really cool. But I kind of figured, you know, what would it be like if there was a Superman story where it wasn't just one Superman, it was two. So in this story, Dipper and Mabel are children from Krypton. It's a little different from your typical Superman origin. That being is that they're not the kids of Jor-El and Lara. They are not the kids of the House of El. In fact, they're actually the children of Zod. They are actually Zod and Ursa's child. You know, parent. They're their kids. And the reason why is because essentially in this story, Lara had a miscarriage, and Zod stole the tech that Jor-El was going to use to send Kal out into space before Krypton's destruction. He stole the technology, and just at that time, his wife had twins, and he modified it to carry both of them. And he said, so long as the House of Zod survives, so will Krypton. And he shoots them both off into space, thinking, yeah, I'm going to leave all my data behind for them. It's going to be great. So shoots them off into space just as Krypton is destroyed. But it's a little different in that he sent them off. He sent his children. Zod sent his children off a little earlier before Krypton's destruction. You see, in this continuity, Zod and Jor-El kind of figured that, yeah, Krypton was dying, but Zod had a different plan of sending his children out. He had the intention of sending them out early, so they would grow up to be... because he knew they would get powers on Earth. So he had the intention of sending his two children, who in this story are named Val-Zod, Dipper, and Farah-Zod, Mabel. And in here, he had the intention of, okay, Jor-El and I will take over the council, and we'll fix everything. We'll make it, I'll make Krypton great again. And what I'll do is let my kids go off, conquer Earth, so when I come in with the new era of Krypton, Earth can be a new Kryptonian colony, and the humans can live under us. Yeah, it'll be the start of the Kryptonian Empire. The Kryptonian Galactic Empire. Yeah, that's totally my thought. Didn't exactly go as it planned, because Krypton was destroyed, and now only the twins are the surviving members of Krypton and the House of Zod. So they crash land in Oregon, where Stan finds them. Stan finds them, and he at first thinks, oh man, alien kids, they're going to be great. I'm going to use them as attractions. But he eventually comes to really care about the kids. But he doesn't know if he wants to tell them about their origin. And it isn't, much like in Superman Birthright and a few other Superman stories, where it isn't until they're 12 or 13 that they start learning about their powers. They really start using more and more of their powers. And Dipper actually learns his powers in a very horrible way, in that he kills someone with him. He uses his heat vision on someone who's actually arguing with Stan, and he tries to butt in. He gets shoved aside, and in a fit of rage, Dipper just flashes his heat vision and turns the guy into a smoldering pile of skeletons. So that's when they realize, oh, we're aliens. And then they discover the data left behind, much like with Jor-El and Kal, but this time it's, of course, Zod leaving behind all this AI message. So Zod's AI tells them, you are the last surviving members of, you are the future of Krypton. you will be gods among these people, and you will rule them as gods until your mother and I come to Earth, and you shall be the rulers of this new world, and you will govern as we see fit. You will be governors. You're going to be great, and we're going to rule as one big happy family. And Dipper and Mabel are kind of like, no. But Dipper's like, on the other hand, the world's pretty... Because unlike with Martha and Jonathan Kent teaching Cal all about the good in humanity, Stan's not like that. So Stan essentially tells them all about, the world's pretty shitty, the world's going to turn its back on you, and they really take that to heart. And let's be honest, guys, even in the show, Dipper and Mabel are not good people. They are not really necessary. They're good, but they're not exactly, perfect people. Because, yeah, when Stan suggested vandalizing the mayor's new house, they were all for it. Remember that? And there's some other points I could give you. So they're not perfect people, but they don't want to be like Zod, but they do take a lot of like, yeah, if we have these powers, we should use them. So they become Superman and Supergirl as they get a little older. They go to Metropolis. And that's where the fun really begins, because they're a little more in your face. They're all about saving people. They're kind of like the Superman in the version of Gods and Monsters. That was also Zod's kid, who was raised by a family of illegal immigrants who tried to come to America. He lost them. Gods and Monsters, Justice League Gods and Monsters is actually a really cool story. And it's a really cool take on Superman, making him the son of Zod. And that's where a lot of the idea came from. So yeah, they're all about saving people, but with certain extensions. Like, they'll fight a giant robot and be more focused on the robot. And the thing is that they're more like... He's like, yeah, are you gonna... When people start talking about collateral damage, like, yeah, we'll fix the problem, we'll fix the damage, but at the moment, we're more concerned about stopping the robot than saving lives. So that's kind of the thing is that they're going for. In here, we also have Gideon, who is... Gideon is the... is the Luthor of this story. And he's more like, yeah, you guys are dangerous, and there's two of you. We also have Robbie in here, who is a security guard for Gideon, but then he asked him, hey, you want to really serve your country? I've got this project in mind called the Metallically Enhanced, Tactically Armed, Long-Lasting Operative. The Metallo Project. So Robbie becomes Metallo. I really wanted to have Brainiac in here. Not as anyone else, like he's somebody else. Nope. Ford's also a member of Checkmate, who investigates, who's actually the first who really realizes these kids are dangerous. Wendy in here is also like the Lois Lane. Well, she's more like Lana Lang because she actually grew up with the twins in Gravity Falls. And she always knew that Dipper was going to be something great. So she's kind of like a combination of Lois and Lana Lang. And she's actually kind of tempers him a bit. Like, she keeps him under control. But yeah, she's like, yeah, sometimes you do need to kill somebody. So it's not entirely like Superman. Yeah. So that was kind of the idea. I was also thinking of, like, Zeus becoming Parasite. I didn't really think... Well, actually, Thompson would probably be Parasite. And Bill Cipher would probably be Mixixpidalic. But, yeah. So that was kind of the rough idea I had for this AU story. So you guys tell me in the comments below, what do you guys think of this Gravity Falls Superman AU? Really curious to see what you guys have to say about it. I know it's a little darker than your typical Superman story, but remember, Gravity Falls didn't exactly have a lot of light side moments as well. It was lighthearted at times, but there are some dark moments too, and, I really like the idea of them being Zod's children. Because that way you could play a little more of them being a little more extreme. Just think of it as like a DC Elseworld story on the big scale. Anyway, just comment below, let me know what you guys think of this, and once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I'm out.